Let's speak more about the political shenanigans in the Tshwane Metro Council. Bring in Gauteng DA leader Solly Msimanga. Solly, very good evening to you. I'm thankful for your time tonight. You're talking now about a coalition, not a coalition, but a petition, that you want to put to the Speaker. What would it say, and what do you think it would achieve that's not already been put forward in the last 2 weeks?
Well, thank you very much, Tamegile, and good evening to you and to the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Section 29, subsection 1, allows, for a majority of councillors to petition a speaker of council to allow for a sitting to take place and to debate and also vote on a particular issue that is brought by a majority of councillors. Now, this is something that the majority of councillors did. A majority of councillors in the city of Tshwane petitioned the speaker to then say, we cannot hold any longer. We need to elect the speaker. We need to elect the mayor. We also need to make sure that there is also an adjustment budget that is actually then being passed before the deadline as per the National Treasury. And if we are to do that, we cannot, hold, this meetings at abeyance any longer. And this is something that we have put to the speaker. But unfortunately, because the speaker wants to play ANC games, because there is also, this intention to try and put the city under administration. This is why there is that delay that is there. But the rules don't allow them to do that.
And when you say that majority of councillors have now basically put their weight behind this petition, are you referring strictly to those who are part of the DA-led coalition, or have you gone across the political aisle?
Well, it's a number of councillors across a number of political parties which constitute the majority of councillors, in that particular council. So you'd remember that, Tshwane has needs a majority of 107. There's 108 councillors that have signed that particular petition to then say that they want to have an urgent, debate and actually even a vote in terms of putting a mayor in place. Now, what is very funny and very telling is that immediately after the speaker receives that petition that says that the councillors want to have a meeting tomorrow to elect a speaker, he then ignores, or to elect a mayor, he then ignores that, and then 2 hours later sends out a memo to then say a council meeting will then take place next week. Now, councillors are saying, no. The instruction as per section 29.1 is that we can call a council meeting, a majority of councillors can call a council meeting at a time that they specify in a petition. Then the speaker cannot then, overrule them. This is something that talks about the desperation of the ANC, and unfortunately, this is something that will land us in court again, or that will land us really exposing what is behind this, delays and denial to hold a council meeting to elect a mayor.
You want this to happen tomorrow, Friday. What difference would, let's say, convening Tuesday, Wednesday next week make when you consider just what a mess the Tshwane Council is at this stage and has been for the last year or so?
Well, I'll tell you what difference it makes. Tomorrow, if you're able to elect a mayor, the weekend, the mayor can go through the officials, through the adjustment budget. Another meeting can then be called next week, which means that by the end of the month, you would meet the deadline with the National Treasury in terms of the submission of your adjustment budget. This is something that we want to do. And we're also saying that it cannot be that we continue to have no political leadership at the helm of the capital city. This is something that cannot continue to happen. I mean, people are asking for services, and the ANC's tactics is what is delaying us from getting to that. And this is something that we need to make sure that we put a stop to, and we need to put a stop to that immediately.
You have accused in the past the ANC-led provincial government in Gauteng of basically trying to bring Tshwane to its knees so that they can put it under administration. We know now that the MEC for Cooperative Governance has requested information from the Speaker in writing as to why the election of a mayor has been so delayed. Not quite talking about administration or putting the metro under administration yet, but does that make you nervous?
This is all part of a strategy. And I sit on the COCTA portfolio at the provincial legislature. And I can tell you right now that this is one of the things that we are asking there, to then say, why didn't Panyaza Lesufi, who was in attendance when, elections was disrupted in the first instance, was in the City of Tshwane building when, EFF and ANC councillors physically attacked councillors of the Democratic Alliance and other councillors, and actually even physically removed IEC boxes out of the IEC officials' hands. And that is tantamount to tampering with the elections. Nothing was said about that. The second thing is that immediately after that, we started then hearing letters then flowing or words from even Panyaza Lesufi on a number of radio stations and TV interviews to then say he will then begin to then ask whether they shouldn't be putting the city under administration for failing to elect the mayor. Why didn't he say anything on the day when these things were happening? Why didn't he reprimand people that were causing the delay of the elections? And now we're seeing Faith Mazibuko's acting as the MEC for Kokta, now saying that she's going to write to the speaker. What he should be doing is, why is he not writing to the ANC, to the EFF, and actually even to the speaker, and saying you will go to a council as per the petition per section 29, section 1, and then sit in there and then, vote to elect the speaker? What is it they're scared of? Do they know that now they don't have numbers? They cannot buy any more, voters outside of the coalition to vote, or inside the coalition to be voting with them. And this is why now they're deciding that, a delay tactic is the way to go, or even delay up to a point where the municipality can then be put under administration. I think these are the questions that they will need to answer.
Well, when the vote comes, Solly, remember not to mark those ballots. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Solly Msimanga, leader of the DA.